So today's chat's going to be a little bit different. You know, on Sundays, we like to have a bit of a money and a mindset kind of conversation on how to think about money and more just around the mindset and the energetics around wealth creation, investing, and just becoming financially free. Mondays, we also do our Monday Mindset Money Call in the UIG. Please join those if you're a part of the UIG. That said, today's going to be a little bit more about business. I've been getting asked a lot of questions. I've built a couple of 7-figure businesses and 2 6-figure businesses way back in the day. And I kind of cut my teeth in entrepreneurship with my first 2 businesses. And then I built a 7-figure business and then a multi-7. And we're on track to be a 8-figure business. And I learned a lot in the process of building business and entrepreneurship. And I am someone who loves simplicity. In fact, if you give me something that's complex, the first thing I do is I simplify it down to the bare essentials. Later on, I learned that that's called kind of first principle thinking, is you break down things to fundamental truths, you say what is true, and then you rebuild from the ground up. A lot of really brilliant people think in first principles, and not saying that I'm brilliant or a genius, but I started thinking first principles a long time ago because I felt just intuitively that made sense. So in business, I do the same. Take, for instance, we just had a team call. Take, for instance, what is a business? Well, a business is there to solve problems for people. Well, what is a business made of? Well, a business is made up of people. So fundamentally, people solve problems. So if you can build the people, then the rest takes care of itself. And we can keep filtering that down to like, okay, what are the skill sets? What are the mindsets? What do you pour into the people? Because ultimately, people solve problems. And that's a way I think all of the time. You can do that with any aspect of business or anything you're trying to solve. So I like first principle thinking and thinking from first principles. The other thing I like to do is invert, which was a Charlie Munger thing that I learned from. Always invert. So that would be, and you can use this in investing too, by the way. This is like, what are all the ways to grow a business? Or how do I grow my business? Or how do I become an investor? But you can invert that. What are all the ways to be a horrible investor? What are all the ways to like, to blow your business up and make sure you're never successful? And we can start thinking from that frame. So we can start coming up with ideas like, hey, to be a bad investor, think short term. Okay, to be a bad investor, like gamble all your money 100%. Put it all on one bet, on some high-risk bet. And then you just do the opposite. To become a successful investor, okay, better think long-term. Oh, I shouldn't bet the whole farm on risky plays. And you'll kind of start laughing at yourself because most people are investing in that manner and they're wondering why they're not being successful investors. But if they invert it, and I think Charlie Munger's little quote was like, invert, always invert. How do you be happy? Well, just invert. How do you be miserable? Make a list of that and then just do the opposite and you will be happy. How do you become successful? Well, how would I become a miserable failure? Okay, well, never learn any kind of skills. Don't work on myself. Pick really low-level opportunities with no leverage. Then I'll probably won't be successful. Now just do the opposite. Find opportunities that have massive leverage. Learn skills that are needed in the marketplace that you can also leverage. And it's like you'll probably become successful if you do most of those things. So I think business is that. Now, also, I like to think fundamentally, I really hope this is helpful. We'll see how this kind of content catches on because this is maybe a little bigger conversation we're having. I also think in terms of value creation. I am actually obsessed with it, is how do you provide value? I think a lot of people in business, they're always thinking, what's in it for me? How can I build a business? How do I get paid? What can I take? And I just always took the approach of what can I give? Can I just constantly create more value in the marketplace? More value for other people? Because I knew, again, down to first principles, the more people that I help, I'll probably be taken care of. I think there's someone that had a quote on that. Is like, to get everything you've ever wanted, just help enough people get what they want. That's fundamentally what a business is. Even as we build a team, I'm constantly thinking, how can we get members of the team how can I help them get what they want? Because I know if I can help the team get what they want, they'll help me get what I want. I know if we can help clients and customers get what they want, that I know done long enough with consistency, I'll get what I want. And I think a lot of people, they think very, again, this is why they're not successful investors. Entrepreneurship and investing, business and investing, to me are like the same skill set. Investing is just a higher leverage and a little bit, sometimes even higher level thinking to be a successful investor. But business and investing, a lot of our fast track clients or high level clients or just the clients that do really well, they actually have business experience. Because I think the two skill sets are very closely related, which is why I want to start talking about business a little more on this channel. We also attract a lot of entrepreneurs into our world, so I think it'll be helpful either way. But if you can provide enough value in the marketplace and help people get what they want through your product, through your service, if you can pour into your team and the people around you, if you can constantly be a value creator for others, you will get everything you've ever wanted. Most people are constantly thinking, how do I get paid? How do I make money? Even CryptoLabs started with, if we could just help a bunch of people. I wasn't thinking in terms of numbers. I didn't need to get paid by CryptoLabs. I had another business at the time, and it was just something that was like, how could we have fun providing value for others, and we'll see where it goes. And it's really interesting how the people who start from that frame and with that intention typically do really freaking well. The people who are constantly greedy little buggers, how do I make money now? Either it's in business or investing, how do I make money now? They typically, maybe short term they're successful, if that's success, but long term they have no longevity. If you can fully commit as a business, as an entrepreneur, or as an investor, for a year, 2 years, every single day you fully commit to just being led by some basic principles. We talked about 3 today. Let me know if you want more content like this. I'm happy to, I can jam on this stuff all day long. We're actually thinking of doing a kind of like a entrepreneurial university, entrepreneurial school. It would be free, and once a month for 2 hours I'd have a live stream where I just answer questions around business, investing, entrepreneurship, and talk about these kind of concepts, because this really fills my cup. I love talking about this kind of stuff. But first principles, think from first principles. Many people just copy what other people are doing. The reason I've been so successful is I don't copy what others are doing. I want the raw ingredients. I want to break it down to the fundamentals and then want to rebuild it my way instead of just copy what everyone else is doing. And I'm a big believer in that. Break things down to their first principles, the fundamental truths, and then build from there. A lot of people will try to reverse engineer, oh, that's how they're doing it. They reverse engineer it, and then they just do what they're doing, and they wonder why they're never successful as the person they're copying. We have a lot of people copying our stuff, copying our program, copying our community, copying our content, copying our SEO, and they are nowhere near as successful as CryptoLabs or growing as fast because they copied it. First principles. Then we talked about inverse. Always inverse, a Charlie Munger original. If you're stuck and you can't come up to solutions, just think of the opposite. What are all the ways I could fail at this? And then do the opposite, and you'll have hundreds of solutions to your problem. Very simple mental model. And then we talked about value creation. How do you get obsessed with helping others fulfill their dreams, their goals, taking their pains away, serving others? And if you can do that and become obsessed with that, you will have no shortage of resources. Which I think revenue and resources, I don't really look at it like revenue or money or profits. I look at it like resources. We just have more resources to do more. I really hope this little masterclass was helpful to you. I'm going to rip home. And if you want more content like this, I'm happy to create a little more entrepreneurial business content. I did a poll on IG, and I think it was 98% of people said, yes, I'd love more business entrepreneurial type content. So we're going to start blending it in, have investor stuff, DeFi stuff, and entrepreneurial business stuff. And I think just the education of that for people will provide a lot of value for those who actually listen to it and actually apply it and think through it for themselves. So I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with others. This YouTube channel does not grow without your support. And we are hungry to grow this channel because we know the lives it can impact. And we want to onboard. We want to create an army of investors, entrepreneurs, people who are stepping out of the status quo, and the way that the educational system has taught us to become successful is flawed. We all know it. And we want to get people thinking differently. And if this YouTube channel is a piece of that revolution, and we're driven to create it. So share this video or share this channel with people you think you can support. And with that said, I'm gonna take the Lambo. So much fun. This thing is so much fun. Like, I could be like tired. We just had a baby 2.5 weeks ago. I could be like tired and kind of like groggy and not that stoked for life. I just take this thing out for 10 minutes and I'm like, yep. The Lamborghini represents how I choose to live my life. And I think it's just just an extension of, I had a video last week. I'm like, I am a Lamborghini. Take this thing away from me, I'm still a Lamborghini. It just represents how I choose to live life. And you go for it. Because we're all going to die. Remember that. And I'm like, you're going to die with your millions of dollars or your millions of dollars in debt. Your Lambo or your Corolla. Whatever it is that you've amassed and accumulated, you don't take it with you. And I'm just like, let's go all in. And I feel like a Lamborghini represents that. So I'm going to rip this thing. And with that said, have an awesome weekend. And we'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.